And we're live. Hey!
Yeah!
Tank Talk in the
Let's
house.
go!
Huge
We're back.
drops all around. Winners only. Winners only this week.
Yes, sir.
That's why Justin's not here.
Not allowed in the winner's circle.
Not allowed in the winner's circle. Josh, how you doing, buddy? You gotta be feeling good.
Oh, I'm feeling great. That was a great win. I kept up potentially my undefeated streak against Kessner. I have not been fact-checked on that. I don't know if Kessner's ever beaten me, but felt great to knock down the undefeated team.
Yeah, as the yearly winner of the Josh Bowl, that's why we call you Josh and Kessner. He can reclaim that title at any point when he plays you, but he's missed his opportunity this go around.
Yes, sir.
It just took him being on insane bipocalypse and his starting quarterback being hurt. I mean, he did pop off.
Nope.
To be fair, your team popped off. But yeah, that did help. That's so funny. Good to win. I don't have to sell the farm. You and many others hit me up and said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And we will never have to see what comes of those inquiries. I hope. We'll see. Maybe a lot would have to get done on Sunday night if I'm like in dire straits against Jacob. I kind of doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So good to win. Good to be in the winner's circle. We have rankings for you. The trade deadline is this week, and how that works, because I've had a couple people ask me. The trade deadline will end when the Monday night game ends. So when the Monday night game ends, there can be no more trades. However, if you get a deal done and a player involved in that deal has played for you, for example, and they're on your roster, they will not. You can process that trade, and then those players will move when players unlock. So you can still make trades through the games this week. But they obviously will not move when they're locked in your roster, and then you cannot process or complete a trade once Monday night's game is done. That is your final and null deadline. We had a trade, I forget what it was, but we had a trade go through last year. It got accepted Monday morning, and then it processed Monday night when the players got unlocked. So for all of you guys strategizing out there, I have a couple coals in the fire along that regards that are like, there are moves that maybe need to be made, but after this week, but it's like a pseudo after this week because it's like you make the deal when the players play, But yeah. So of course, because the trade deadline is here, we had to get the Tank Doc on. So the Tank Doc is here. He's here for some prescriptions. As your league commish, I made an appointment ASAP. I said we got to get you on here. And we're gonna go through ranking by ranking, and then we'll kind of get a feel for each squad and go from there. So before we go, I'm doing a lot of talking. Josh, what are some? Let's talk about the waiver claims this week. Specifically, I want to hear your outlook on Tyrone Tracy.
So first off, we have to figure out why there were not 12 bids in on this. Like at least like someone did not put in a bid, which I find hilarious because like at the very least like put in a bid for $0 for a starting running back. I put in my bid for 20 and it was one of these I knew I wasn't gonna win. I wasn't like desperate, and I kind of knew that Sam was probably going to be the one to go all in and shove just because he's got a good record and he lost a very valuable piece. And I think Tyrone Tracy will be like a fine like mid to low end RB2.
Yeah.
Which if you're just finding one off the waiver wire, it's worth shoving. So to see him go for $40, I was not surprised. And I think he'll be fine. I think he'll probably average around, just based off volume, 10 points a week.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, if he falls in the end zone, you're very happy with the production. Hopefully his yardage totals, make it playable. There's a reason why Scadaboo passed him on the depth chart, right? Like, he's obviously not the same player. But yeah, I agree with you. And I think that your bid, and it looks like you and JT and Santos had the very similar idea of you're going to beat the guys who are putting in the dollar bids, but you're also not going to shove. You're like not a player that you feel like you need to shove for, but if you feel like you can get a deal on him, you will.
Yeah.
Ken was the only one that did not bid, which is surprising because he was active this week's waiver wire. It's not like he didn't set waivers. He did make some claims. So
yeah.
But hey, Ken has a pretty solid running back room, so maybe he just felt like this is kind of a waste. I mean, I really like my running back room, and I put a $0 bid in there just because trade him.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, if somehow randomly he fell to me, he's gone. I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah, it's like if I get him, then I'm immediately putting out an offer to Sam. Be like, hey,
right. Yeah,
exactly. Here you go.
Exactly. But hey, it's cool. It's always cool to see when almost the entire league, or puts a bid on whatever that bid is. Not much else on the waivers though this week. Defense is moving. A couple kickers swapped.
Defense is going for some high numbers too.
Yeah,
I whiffed on both defenses because I was, I was like, "There's no way people are putting like more than $4, right?" Wrong.
Oh, you would be wrong. See, and here we go. Ken said, "I'm not going to spend money on starting running back, but I will take the Rams defense for $6." And he needed it. That's a snipe. 6 over 4 is great. And the Lions went for a lot too. $9 to Jacob.
And funny enough, they're playing against his Vikings. That says something about his confidence in his team.
He saw J.J. McCarthy starting, and he was like, "I'm shoving for the Lions defense." Yeah, it's brutal. Did you see Aiden Hutchinson just got paid? Speaking of Lions defense.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Good Lord, he got paid a lot of dollars.
I mean, good for him.
$dollars.
Coming off the injury, and he's been performing. Great business decision for the Lions as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I actually picked up the Chargers defense for this week. So last week I picked them up, and I played them against the Vikings just because I was like, this is a kind of a whatever matchup. They did 11 points, it was fine. But they played Tennessee this week, and it was to avoid this nonsense. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But like the Rams against the Saints, juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of defenses. And drop it like it's hot. Jerry Jeudy, it's a waiver wire. Who cares? Probably shouldn't have been rostered this long.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco hits a waiver wire. I guess who cares? It's like whatever. Pacheco, again, if he scores a touchdown, you're happy. If not, you're not. So I'm curious to see what he'll go for.
Mariota hits the waiver wire for like the 3rd time in the last 3 days.
Monday night stud. Holy crap, guy. You dodged a bullet, let me tell you. You dodged a bullet. Now you can play Jared Goff this week against Minnesota. No, wait, Jaden Daniels is back. Who cares? I don't understand that. I don't get it. But gifting Sam a win was not appreciated. And yeah, nothing else crazy. Jacob snipes me for Mark Andrews because I didn't think Mark Andrews was worth $2, but Jacob did. So good for you.
You'd be wrong.
Oh, yeah, I was wrong. There you go. So some interesting news there. Okay, let's dive in the rankings. First of all, we have had an adjustment slightly. Not in the 2 teams, though, at the bottom. Justin's at 12, Mark's at 11. It was like that last week. It's like that again. Both of these teams are in sell mode. Justin's at the bottom because he has no one left to sell. I guess if you want RJ Harvey or, I don't know, Daryl
Kyle
Mooney.
Monungai?
Yeah, Kyle Monungai. Does Xavier Worthy wet your whistle? Not with Rashee Rice back. Yeah, I mean, Justin is angling for consolation, so we've talked about him at length. Mark does have, unironically, some pieces he can still move. But I'm curious to see if he does, if he just wants to try to perform in consolation. But I feel like Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Brock Bowers, Nico Collins, Even Kamara at some point, I think people would pay more or less for. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think so. I can understand, and I'd probably be in Mark's boat to not sell Brock Bowers and Nico Collins because he can still keep them for another year at pretty good value.
Can't keep
And
Nico
he
goes
can't?
back to the waiver.
Oh, just kidding. Okay.
But Bowers he can for sure.
Yeah, Bowers, I would be shocked if he moved. Just because his stock is low, and like I think he bounces back next year. Kamara's tough because I inquired about Kamara and then I've seen him perform and I'm like, no, don't really want him. Like Breece Hall, he could move, but I don't know. Just because I thought about potentially making it. Oh, I actually did make an offer for Breece and immediately pulled it because I was like, I actually don't. I don't like this. Just because I don't know about you, but I just don't trust the Jets.
I don't trust the Jets.
Breece Hall goes off against the Bengals. Congratulations.
Yeah, everyone goes off against the Bengals. They're a joke. Ask Sam.
No, they're crooks in his
They're
words.
crooks, you're right. They're crooks!
So, I mean, there's sellable pieces on his team, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, if they do sell, then he'd sell them for cheap, which I don't think he would be
then at that
willing
point,
to
why
do.
are you selling, right?
Yeah.
Is your return, if your return keeps you out of competitiveness for consolation, then is it worth it? Because there is selecting draft position is super important. Obviously, dodging last place is important, but the higher up you get in consolation, the better your draft is gonna shape up for you. And there's definitely a value to staying water and being competitive.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's your 12 and 11 teams. Ben is at 10, so this is a change. Ben drops 1, loses a tight one to Jacob this last week, and I think this is our first appointment. If you're in Ben's shoes, are you trying to buy and make the team a little better, or are you let's full sell, let's join the bottom ranks, let's get out of the season?
This is a tough one because he has enough talent here, I think, to make a run. Like, Jalen Hurts is great. As bad as we joke about the Vikings being JJ's still he's only dropped below single digits once, and he scored 9.6. He's still pretty good. Olave's been pretty good, and I have a soft spot for Olave, having had him for 2 years. Javonte's insane. If he can just tread water until Omarion Hampton comes back, which is a big if, it's one of those if he gets Hampton back, he can make a run, and the mid pack is still pretty tight. You have teams that are it's the 5-3 to 3-5 teams where you don't know how it could turn. So he's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but also he needs wins. And he's playing Santos this week without Jalen Hurts. So
I think you put it perfectly. It's tricky, right? Because Jefferson, if you sold Jefferson, you'd probably want more back than you'd get because his numbers are depressed. Even though he's, like you said, very solid, a great fantasy contributor, he's just not blowing the roof off like we're used to him in past years. Javonte is a sneaky maybe keeper. Maybe they stick with him next year and he's a fifth.
Absolutely.
I don't know. That's so that kind of makes him not really someone you want to sell. If you're thinking that way.
Yeah.
Olave, similarly, I think he got Olave late. Oh, I'm trying to pull it up. He got him in the 6th round.
Got him in the 6th.
So again, he's definitely a player if they draft a good quarterback or they sign one in the offseason. He's someone who becomes very valuable. Or
if he gets traded.
Right, if he gets traded to a really good spot. Imagine the Niners with Chris Olave. Or one of these teams that knows how to
Yeah.
Yeah. And
also with if Ben doesn't make the playoffs, then he could take advantage of the keeper rules, and if Javonte stays and he could keep him in the 6th, then Javonte's the RB4 on the year. That I'm personally like I'm not trying to move Javonte. Like, and yes, there's a chance that he doesn't resign, he goes elsewhere. Like, if you have a chance to like keep him in the fifth or sixth, and you like get an RB1 in the fifth or sixth, like respectfully, I don't care what you're offering me. Like that, you have to
It would
offer
have to
me
be
something
comparable.
insane.
Right.
It
It would have to be
something
comparable.
insane. And
Right.
I don't think anyone at this stage is going to be willing to offer something insane.
Right. So yeah, you're kind of in this tricky part where like if you sell, you're not gonna really capitalize on the sell, but then you also don't really want to invest heavily because maybe you're not confident about the squad's chances. And this is like this limbo, like, you know, where am I putting? And I think that's, and you already talked about it. I think that's where the keeper bonus is for this exact team, right? It's for this team that is in this weird, like, I don't know if it's worth selling. I don't know if it's worth buying. But if he plays his cards the way he is right now, he will still see value from this decision tree, if that makes sense. Because like you said, Javonte in the sixth, maybe Olave in the fifth as a keeper if he goes to a good situation or becomes one in New Orleans, could be very advantageous. Or even like an Amari and Hampton as like let's say he gets second in consolation, he's really excited about Hampton as a first round running back, or Hampton's being picked like the first. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just spitballing. He's like in a top 3 pick or something. Then you like lock him up as the 12th overall and you pick at the back of the draft. There's a lot of like weird things you can do with that keeper bonus. And so Ben's in a pickle. I don't know what I would do if I was in his shoes, because I definitely am like, I don't know if I have the capital or I don't have the team that if I could make like 1 or 2 ads to make the team really good, I would maybe try to do them. But I feel like the team needs like a little bit of an overhaul for that boom.
Yeah. And he's just in a tough spot this week. But to give Ben credit, like he sold off Kelsey to me, and
yes,
it was one of those where like I think it was actually a pretty even trade. Like I think we both felt like we wanted more, which I think that's like that sweet spot where it's like like he got good return for him. He didn't like totally tank his team, and he got something. He like did like the minimum. So
yeah, and so maybe there's some more moves like that. The big sadness I think here is Rico. I think is going to take over for Carolina.
Yeah, there is a very good possibility.
That hurts. All right, so Ben's at 10. JT is at 9. Comes off the huge win against a hapless Justin squad. He's 4-4, and on paper, there's a lot to like here. Bo Nix, HN, ETN, Waddle, AJ Brown's on bye, but he's a fine wide receiver 1/2. Metcalf has been very good. Kittle comes back for him. Dicker the kicker has been fantastic, as he always is. And again, I'm gonna put, if you're in JT's shoes, are you investing a little more, or are you maybe thinking I'm gonna chill, or maybe it's time to actually let's get out of Dodge?
This is what I'd probably just be like, let's rat it out. Record's good enough. I think the team's good enough. Like, playoff squad. Like, in order for him to really vault into the top, like he'd have to really go out and spend. Which in this position, I'm not like, if I'm 4-4 with this squad, I'm not willing to spend a first or second round pick to get me into the elite. Because
absolutely,
like a lot of the best players you would spend for have already moved. So I think this team is good enough. You ride it out and you see what you have. Worst case, you miss the playoffs. You're in very good shape for the consolation championship. So
yes,
that's kind of
if I was in JT's shoes, I would be like shadow buying. Like I would be like tweaking my roster for later season bumps. Like maybe I'm hitting Ben up for, maybe I can go grab a little Hampton off of him, and I give him a player. But like players that don't really have value right now, but might be interesting as a keeper, or might be interesting later season, to give me a little bit of an edge. And kind of low key, like I'm not going and buying the CeeDee Lambs, the Saquon Barkleys, but going after players like that, because I like the bones of the roster. And unlike Ben's team, where I said I think I would need 3 or 4 moves to make it really competitive, I think this team's like 1 star away from being like, okay, he's in top half scoring now. You know, like
Yeah.
he's going to be not a gimme every week. A guy like Josh Allen that just got posted for trade could be someone maybe it doesn't cost as much as you think to go acquire. That maybe gives you some star power, but I
mean,
like
to give JT credit, he did try and swing a deal for Michael Pittman.
He did.
I was not interested.
Yeah, but like that's exactly like I would be like trying to like not make big steps, right? Like so, for example, the Saquon deal that I made was like a 0. I had 0 in that spot, and I paid a first round to get a top end running back. Like not such a big of a step, right? Like make little minor adjustments, little guys you like the upside more. Maybe you're selling someone high, something like that. To kind of tweak the team if you can this week. Obviously, this last week of trading. But yeah, definitely not a hard sell. Definitely not a hard buy.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Sam's at 8. Sam drops 1 spot. I'm actually the lowest on him. You and Justin have him at 7. So right here, I've got him at 9. And I just don't like with the Scadaboo injury. I don't like the top end of this squad. And Genty's been so inconsistent. I really like Gadsden. Gadsden's awesome.
Yeah.
And Sam is 5-3, so he's really positioned well to make the run for the playoff bid. He can afford several losses, and I think he'll be just fine. If you're, I think we're both agreeing, like if you're Sam, you're going to try to maybe purchase another, maybe a replacement for Scadaboo or a little more oomph. Or are you thinking this is something you're just going to let ride?
I think this is something I'm letting ride purely because, like, I don't know Sam's thinking, but if I'm in Sam's shoes, I'm like, I'm fortunate to be 5-3. I'm gonna let this team ride because I would need to probably make, like, if I'm being completely honest, I would probably need to make like maybe 2 or 3 moves and pay something pretty substantial to get a squad, like to solidify a squad that I'm not fully sure about. Like, yes, I love Gadsden, personally. I love Gadsden. I love Drake London, although still question marks. That Atlanta offense is so inconsistent. T is boomer bust, and Flacco's injured now. Genty's boomer bust. Tracy's limited. Mahomes is great. Like, it's like there's potential in this team, but it's just tough because on paper this team looks good, but I feel like 50-50 every week if this team's actually going to like actually perform to its potential. And those aren't odds I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that the big thing is the bench is just there's no, I mean, he's sustained injuries. It's not Sam's fault.
Yeah.
He's taken some blows, obviously. Burrow, now Scadaboo, he was able to grab Tracy, but we've already talked about how that's not the same thing. But I think Sam makes playoffs. Like, looking at his schedule, he has 2 games against really difficult opponents, maybe 3 if you count Ken, because Ken's squad apparently can just go nuclear at any point, but it can also dud. So, and so let's say he loses all 3. I think he makes it with an X5 record, and then it's like, okay, maybe I'm doing something similar. I referred to a JT, and maybe I'm adjusting my team for playoff matchups, or maybe I'm making not so like big splash moves and not sacrificing capital, but maybe trying to find some players that like their playoff matchups, or maybe I'm gonna twist my one player into 2 studs that I can rely on, something like that, where it's not like super splash, not going to cost me a lot, but kind of set me up better. Because being 5-3 is very advantageous, and kind of having that buffer.
Yeah.
Is really good. All right. Sam's at 8. Ken's at 7. I literally just started talking about him, which is odd because you and I have him at 6. Justin has him at 8, so he's being dragged down a little bit there. And I think on paper, I love this team. He's in a similar situation to me that he's 3-5.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his also is like that. I know we've criticized him going the double receiver, like Washington receiver, but in this situation, this actually like helps his team because like McLaurin going out will boost Debo, and now he doesn't have to choose like which one to play. Like Debo is going to get more targets, and now he can put someone else in, and his tight ends have also been fantastic. Like, you know, like I love his running back room. I tried to pry one of his running backs away from him. He very politely declined in a very Ken way.
Yeah.
Um, and like yeah, like Darnold's a fine fill-in for Mayfield because I think the Bucks are going to rebound. Devontae is playing a lot better. Like, there's a lot to like. The only thing I don't like is him being 3-5.
Right, and it's kind of like, you know, McCaffrey has been such a stud in you know, a centerpiece of the squad, and we saw when he doesn't have his 30-point game, he's not even competitive. Like, he needs his stars to boom because of the team is so hot and cold. The consistency is so hot and cold. And I believe he has the season record for points scored in a single week, which is awesome. And yet he's 3-5, which kind of reminds me of, remember that Justin year where he like just went boom. He would like boom and bust and boom and bust. And then like every now and then he'd boom, but he played like the best boomer. You know, like he had a hot game against. He was like number 2 against number 1, and Ken can't afford many more losses. He plays Guy, who is down a running back, so he's positioned, you know, okay against Guy here. He'll play me. He'll play Kessner. Does he play you? Have you played him yet?
Oof.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking ahead real quick.
We're in the same division, so
so you will
we've
play
already
him again.
played once, so we're gonna play.
So you'll
again.
play him again. So that's it's 4 games that are very difficult coming out. But I mean, the team can do it. Like, we've seen it. We've seen it put up the numbers. And so I think if I was Ken, I'm just holding and just saying, all right, if it booms and it makes it, if not, I'm gonna crush consolation. I have 0 capital invested or gained, and just kind of reset. I don't even think there's things I could change. Go ahead.
Yeah, and now thinking about it, it makes sense why he didn't put in a waiver for Tyrone and why he went so high on defense. Because he's like, my team is good. I'm facing a gauntlet, so I need to make sure I secure the best streaming defense I can, like every week, because he needs every advantage he can, and he's got no margin for error. So it makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, and, you know, and Ken is back in South Africa. He spent the first month in South Africa, so he's back now, and maybe we see some more activity. But yeah, I think it's kind of a hold, and you know, hopefully you can boom at the right spots and squeak in, and then it's anybody's game. Yeah, being 3-5 sucks. I know, because I am also 3-5. Speaking of, it's me. I'm at 5, or I'm at 6. Sorry, I'm at 6. And Josh, should I keep buying?
I mean, what more could you buy? Like, your teams? Like, what would you buy?
I don't know. I think I don't know, a wide receiver 3 for a running back 4. It's like kind of, or a tight end maybe. There are 2 teams in the league with 2 good tight ends. So maybe try to grab one of them. Like, I have maybe depth for it, but I don't think I can spend more capital.
I feel like you're just at that inflection where you could either buy or sell. And I'm not gonna lie, I am a little nervous for you this week, because Jacob's team, like, having experienced it firsthand, like, Jacob's team just has the potential to just go off. And if there's any week where he does go off, like, looking at his matchups, he has some really juicy matchups. Like, I know we've talked about, like, Derrick Henry, like, hasn't been the Derrick Henry we've seen in the past.
It's happening
like,
this week.
He's facing Miami with Lamar back. Like, if there's any week for him to go off, it's this week.
It's this week.
Yeah, I know Flacco's injured. So if he misses this week, then I'm very worried about Chase's numbers. So
I believe Flacco will play, though, because he came back into the game. I've watched a couple posts / like practice reports, and he's like day to day, and it's like it looks like he's going to play as of right now. But that is a concern.
Okay.
That is a concern.
Yeah. So, like, hypothetically, if Jacob's blowing you out of the water, like, what are you trying to do? Like, that's such a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, so looking at my schedule, and when I made the Saquon deal, this is like I've thought about this for thousands of hours. It feels like, and I have 2 big games coming up, not including this one. I have the Ken game because his team, like I said, can go crazy or nothing, and then I have another Kessler matchup. Otherwise, I've gotten through the rest of you. I've played you. I've played Guy. I've played Santos. Like I've gotten through the rest of the top. So can I afford 2 more losses? Probably not. Can I afford 1? Most likely.
Mm-hmm.
If I take that 1 right now, I will be very inclined to sell, not to get everyone's hopes up again. But if we hit Sunday night and I'm down like 50, and I have Dak Prescott to play, hit me up because I'll probably be making moves. Most likely be making deals. Just being honest, like I don't think I can guarantee, like especially against next week against Ken, I'm down Rashee Rice and Jamar Chase to buy.
Ooh,
and I have receivers that I like their matchups and narratively. Like I have a plan, but it's like it's still not great to be down 2 top 10 receivers that are like the core of why the team is good. So he's down a good amount of players too, so it also kind of evens out. But obviously it's not great. So it's tricky. But my hi. All right, my room is being invaded. Yeah, all right. And so yeah, I'm in limbo. I am actively trying to make a deal right now. I'm in talks to acquire some players that we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if I'm down a ton on Sunday night, everyone has my number. Here's my number: 703-999-6946. Hit me up, okay? All right, hit me up because I'll be awake. Don't you worry. And I have no work on Monday, so I will be cramming deals. Okay. But I like the team. Like I like the team.
Yeah.
Like
I like the team too.
It's so good, and I kind of feel like in similar situation to Ken. Like I think I just kind of, obviously if I lose this week it's rough, but otherwise I just ride it out. Like there's a good chance. I just have to keep winning, and the team can do it. So anyway, that's my TED Talk. Moving on. It's Jacob just ahead of me. And I have Jacob ranked a little lower than you because I don't think his as consistent as some of these other teams. Like, speaking of Ken, I think I would take Ken's consistency over Jacob's. And his star power is his running back room, but the rest of the roster is like solid dudes. Like Sutton's not hitting a 30 game. Addison's not going to hit a 30 game. Keenan Allen's not going to get a 30 game. You know what I mean? So it's like
you kind of did against me though.
Allen, well, I think he only did 23.
Okay, 23.
Like it
was the nail in the coffin against me.
Yeah, yeah. But like, it's if Jacobs and Henry pop off, which they're very good at, and like I agree with you. I think Henry's this week. Like I think Henry's going to go nuclear. I have to survive some of these other poor matchups on his roster, but Henry I think has like 25, 30 points. And if they do, then Jacobs positioned very well to win because the rest of his team should be giving him something. The Rico Dowdle trade, I think he's smart in holding off and playing him this week against Green Bay, and also seeing the split. Like we've seen that Rico's taking over, but it's a terrible matchup, and you don't really want to trust that matchup and not knowing how that split's going to go. But I think Rico's going to be a RB2 rest of the season, which really helps his flex and lets him help start better in the receiving room. And he's also 5-3, which is huge.
Yeah.
Like Jacob can afford to. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was my main thing of why I ranked him higher. I was like, he's 5-3. He's got wins. He's got and the most important thing is it buys him time. Like it buys him time to figure out like what combination of these players is going to work best and how it's going to shake out. And that time is just so valuable. Like Juwan Jennings is on his bench, and we never know. Like when Brock Purdy comes back, like Juwan Jennings could be like that wide receiver 1. The 5-3 buys him a lot of time to figure things out.
Now, I
And
will
so
say his upcoming schedule is me, which is no easy game. He plays JT, who's solid. He plays JT. Hold on. No, okay, no missing. But then he plays Guy. Sorry, no, he plays Josh Kessner. He plays Guy, and then he plays you. Or sorry, Santos. So like,
yeah, that's
4 or
true.
5 games is all top 4 teams.
Yeah,
coming up,
that's tough.
which is tough, but it also drives home the point that we're talking about. He's 5-3. Like he has the buffer to lose 50%, even 60% of those, and still probably make playoffs. At some point, he's gonna have to win. Like he can't go on a 5-game losing streak, but like,
yeah.
yeah.
If I'm Jacob and like I'm wanting to like buy in a little bit, this would be the prime. Like I think his prime target, where like because Jacob's also in that interesting spot where he's like good enough to where like he could make his record is good, team is like decent, not like I wouldn't consider like a strong chance of winning. But he can make one or two moves that like strengthen him.
Yes.
So if I'm him, like the target I'm like hardcore going after is I'm like hitting Ben up to see if I can get Olave from him and trade him something like an Addison or a Sutton and a slight draft pick, where it's not going to cost you a lot, but just having like a consistent like a wide receiver one who's going to get like a consistent target share, in my opinion, raises the ceiling and the floor of this team to where like now I have a wide receiver who could be like locked in and I can trust every week because his wide receivers right now it's like could do well.
I agree.
Also couldn't.
I think the onesie positions are also places that can improve his consistency and also up his ceiling. This is another team that don't do it against me, Jacob, please. But maybe he picks up a Josh Allen. I don't know what it would cost him. I think Santos is looking for players, and I think Jacob wouldn't want to cripple his team. But maybe one of the tight ends that Ken's got, or like small. I like you're saying, small adjustments. And if it doesn't crack your roster or it doesn't hurt you too much or doesn't cost too much, because the bones are there for sure. I absolutely. All right. Josh, you're at 4. I've got you at 4. You've got you at 4. Justin thinks your team is fire. He's got you at 2. He loves it. I think
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong. I think a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
The top 3, top 4, kind of all jumbling together at this point. JT is disgusting. Your Egbuki Pookies are fantastic. Like you said, Pittman is a top 10 receiver. You need a running back. Desperate.
Yeah.
That's the glaring hole. Obviously, Kelsey's a fine play. He's fine. And Herbert's been balling out. He's QB3 or 4? Yeah, he's been balling.
I think he's actually QB6 if you go into like the actual rankings. I think he's QB6, but I mean he's still a great fantasy quarterback. Like I love having him as a fantasy quarterback.
And so I mean you're trying to buy, right?
So I'm being selective in my buying. Like I'm only buying if I know it's like a slam dunk like move with a player that I feel like can actually tangibly upgrade my team. Because like respectfully, like I could go out and get and buy a RB2, but there's no RB2s out there that I see as like worth the like if I'm gonna buy and shell out capital, I want them to be worth it. Like respectfully, I don't think Breece Hall is worth it. I don't think Alvin Kamara is worth it.
Right.
Like, because the thing is, like,
they're low end RB2.
I have Vidal. Like, Vidal has been, Vidal's been great, and I have Vidal for another few weeks because Omarion Hampton was still spotted in a walking boot. So if I had to guess on when he's back, I think he's going to be back week 13 after their bye week.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think he's out.
My projections, post-bye.
And so it's like, okay, I'm not in desperate need of a play right now. My record's good enough. Vidal's good enough. Woody has been actually solid the last couple weeks. He's put up double digits the last couple weeks. He's locked in as like the way Houston likes to use him is he alternates drives with Nick Chubb, and if they're in close games, he plays. If the Texans are like blowing the teams out of the water, like they did against Baltimore, they stick Chubb in to just run, but Woody's like more their receiving back, and they're scheming him to get him touches in open space, which has been really affecting him in a positive way. And I picked up Isaiah Davis because Isaiah Davis actually looks really good, and there's a lot of trade rumors around Breece Hall. So if Breece Hall gets shipped out, Isaiah Davis takes over. So the reason why I haven't really like pushed is because Jonathan Taylor is like 2 RBs in one, so it's not like it's not like I need to get this top end RB as my RB2. And I currently have the wide receivers 5, 6, and 7 on the year, so it's like I'm good enough. Like between Charbonnet, Woody, I can find a viable RB2 candidate, and there's very few receivers out there that I consider like worth it to go out and spend to upgrade. So I'm kind of like just monitoring. Yeah. So like I'm monitoring if they're like obviously I'm not going to turn down a good buying opportunity, but like I missed out on CD, and that like he was the one player where I was like I'm willing to shove for him, and there's no one currently out there where I'm like
right.
I want to shove for them.
I love to hear your thoughts because I think that I've been in your shoes. I think managers have been in your shoes, and it's good to hear how you're thinking about it. Yeah, we talked about the Class Clannon build, and he takes an injury. It's he's hurting, but there's so much, and this is like in direct contrast with Jacob's team. There's so much star power on this roster that you can afford a Nakua to be gone for 4 weeks. You can afford Nabuka to miss a game because the other players, Taylor's going to get you 30 apparently every week. If he's going to go and buy, don't worry, Puka and Ibuka will combo for 50 that week. And so your consistency or your floor is so high because of that star power that even though the bench may not be exciting, it's really fine because you need multiple stars to go out. It's not like some of the other squads, they lose their star and they just lose all their top end.
Yeah.
That's not your team. So yeah, obviously, the running back is the whole, but I like how you're thinking about it.
Yeah. And the reason why like I paid what I paid to like get Kelsey on my team was because like I knew this time was coming where JJ McCarthy was coming back. So Hawkinson was always going to basically drop off in value. And Kelsey, well, he's not the Kelsey of old where he's going to get like 13 to 15 targets and score on average of like 18 points a week. He'll get me a solid like probably 5 to 8 targets a game. He'll probably score me have a floor of like 7 to 8 points with a ceiling of 18. And with that and with all my other players, like I haven't had Puka the last 2 weeks. I've scored 115 and 150.
Right.
Like
right.
I've been able to boost my supporting cast enough, and I've gathered enough of a sample size to know what I'm getting with Woody and Charbonnet, to where they can spot play in the RB2 and get me enough to not goose me.
And you're also 6-2. So when JT goes on by, if you lose that week, you lose that week. It's like it's really whatever. Yeah. You're gonna make playoffs. You are one of the juggernauts that people are looking out for. You don't have many matchups left against comparable teams, because your team is just built different.
Yeah, and these past 2 weeks, like Ibuka has not been great because it's clear he's not 100% with his hamstring, and Baker has just been like not the best, and so he hasn't been great. I've put up these points, and after this bye week, I think they'll be a lot better.
Yeah, he should be healed up.
Like my team, like I've seen my team at like kind of its lowest, or like 2 of my star players are out, and my team is still putting up points. So that's why I'm not very pressed to like make a move, because like my team is going to be improving over the next few weeks.
And dude, your schedules, you played JT, you played Mark, you played Guy, so that's a toughie.
With JT on
with
bye.
JT on bye, so okay, fine. There's the L. Then you play Justin, so there's a gimme. Then you play Ken. I guess that's kind of, he'll try to give you room for your money. And then you pick on Sam with the Giants on bye and the Niners on bye. So there you go. All right. Loving it. Loving what you're doing over there. I got to post pod last week. I got to brag on you a little bit. we had JT on. I'm sure all of you enjoyed that pod. I know I did. And we were talking after the recording ended, and he was talking about you and how your season's going. He's like, man, this roster's so good. And he was like, he said, I couldn't imagine being Josh. We were drafting, and Josh took a player, and then he went and made another sandwich, and he went and hung out and talked to Vince because he didn't pick for 3 rounds. And then when he came back, he made his pick, and there was no thought about it. He knew exactly what he wanted. He took his player, and now here he is. And I got to bragging. I said, that is one of Josh's strongest elements is the draft. Justin said, yeah, mine. It's one of my worst, but it's one of Josh's best. He prepares, and we're seeing the fruits of your labor. So the team is awesome.
I started out as the number 12 preseason team.
Yeah. We're terrible at our job, if that's not evident. All right, moving on. Guys at 3. It's a -1 for Guy. You bumped down 1 as well. Jacob rose by 3, by the way. So congratulations, Jacob. You bumped down 1. Guy bumps to 3. Because he didn't start a quarterback this week. You hear me, Guy? Start a roster, man. You could have cut Jared Goff. All right. Would you win? Probably not. I don't know if you could have cherry picked a 25-point player off the waiver wire. I couldn't have. But start a roster, man. Jared Goff's not worth. Anyway, sorry. Just a taste of the wrath that could have been.
He'd probably still have the 2 seed if he did. I don't know.
If he wins, like again, he would have had to get a baller of a QB, not just anybody. It's not like a body wins the game. Like he needed what 26.5 points out of the quarterback.
Even if he threw Mariota in. If he threw Mariota in, I think he'd still have the 2 seed because he'd have more points than me.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, points 4. Yeah, he would have needed 23 points. I'm not gonna look it up. I should have had this prepared. Just kidding. I'm looking it up. I'm almost there. There was no one on the waiver wire that hit 23 points, so he could not have won that game if he picked up a player. But still, picked up a player. Okay, all right. Wait, was I looking at projections? I don't want projections. Stats. Yeah, okay. He would have he would have had to play Tua. That was never happening. All right.
That's true.
But guys at 3 is a slight drop. And the injury bug is finally kind of taking its toll. He's down his Tampa Bay running back room this week against a somewhat difficult match against Ken, but the team's good. If I'm Guy, I think I'm trying to buy that extra little bit of star power if I can. I'm trying to pick on these 3 and 5, 4 and 4 teams, trying to steal a contributor. Am I wrong? I feel like unlike your team that's like star-studded, this team is a whole bunch of great floors, and I want that little extra edge. I want that, that Saquon, that guy who can go boom. Because he has Gibbs and he has Njigba, but he needs a little something extra. What do you think?
Yeah, it's
great team. It's a great team. It's not a comment on the team. It's awesome.
And I ranked him 3 purely based on like where he stands now with his injuries. I personally think like give him like 2 weeks, I'll probably put him back at 2 or 1 because like I mean he's been doing all this and he hasn't had Bucky Irvin for like 3 weeks. And I know he has Rashad White, but there's a reason why Bucky Irving took the job from him.
Absolutely.
Like Bucky Irving is unreal, and Garrett Wilson's also injured. And I know the Jets are rough, but Garrett Wilson's still the wide receiver 1. Like, I think it's tough in this position because I know Guy historically, I don't think he's ever really bought. I think he's only really sold that I know of.
I can't. He remember that one year he like. It was quote unquote buying, but he freaking just paid a first for a third for Dalvin Cook. That's all it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think if I'm Guy and I'm looking for like a tangible upgrade, the thing is I know this deal would never happen because I know the price it would take. He would be hitting up Ben, and he'd be trying to get JJ. And it'd be like a JJ for like a JJ for something like that.
Capital.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know Ben. There's a reason why I had to pay a 7 for 11. Ben's MO is I will never be on the losing end of a deal. And so his price is like, this is my price, and either I'm not gonna make a deal, either we're not gonna make a deal, and I'm not gonna gain anything, but I sure as heck ain't gonna lose.
Yeah, or you're
And
paying what I want, or we're not trading.
yeah, and that's why I don't think like I see like Guy doing it, because I know Ben's gonna be like JJ's worth a first, or like JJ's worth like a second, and Guy's gonna be like maybe like 2 for a 4 drop, and Ben's gonna be like, come on, bro, he's worth like a like a 5-round drop. Like we saw Ben, we saw Ben's comment about the CD Lamb trade.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I just don't see anything else that's like worth it unless Guy is like banging down your door to buy Jamar Chase, which I don't think you're selling.
I mean, again, if I'm down a ton, yeah, it will cost a lot to get the wide receiver one. I would hope it would cost a lot. Yeah, if I'm down a million coming into Sunday night, shop's open. But yeah, I agree.
I just don't see. I don't think there's a need on Guy's end.
Yeah.
And I think that's his thought process. So if I'm in his shoes, I'm probably in the same boat. Like, I'm 6-2. My team's doing well. My team's good. I've got the only other
Depth
RB in the. I got the only other RB in the NFL that I would have on my team, but that I would want on my team besides JT. If I can't have JT.
Or
like,
CMC.
I love Gibbs.
I think Gibbs, CMC, or JT.
I love Jameer Gibbs.
No, Jameer Gibbs is great. Trust me. He just cleaned my clock 2 weeks ago. I know Jameer Gibbs is good.
Like, this team is... I love this team, dude. I know, like, guys always like, watch out for that midseason class, but I'm like, respectfully, I don't see it with this team. This team is so good.
It would have to be injuries. Yeah.
It would
I
have
don't think
to be
there's a decline in
three
players.
Injuries.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like 3 injuries. But,
and season enders. Not like Bucky is probably back post-bye. Most likely.
Yeah, and Trey Benson's also coming back too.
Yeah.
So
and will be the starter. Like, that's not a question.
Yeah.
Like, he will immediately become the starter. So yeah. If the deal makes sense, I would be sniffing around for a little deal. The deal makes sense, but yeah, I agree. Not shoving chips to shove chips. Speaking of shoving chips, Santos meteoric rise from 4 to 2. Spends the second to go get CeeDee Lamb to lose. Suck on that, Santos. I'm only a game behind you, but this team is stacked. I love the triumphant is the running back room. Obviously, Judkins is hurt, but I think he should be fine coming out of the bye.
Mm-hmm.
But the Monty, Dobbins, Judkins, you pick 2, should be good. But Amon-Ra St. Brown and CeeDee Lamb is terrifying.
Yeah.
Every week. And Drake May is now the QB1 for this team.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thinking of it is like they're putting out similar numbers, and he can keep being the 7th. So let's get some value for Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't hate. I think go get some players, or go solidify the roster a little more. But McConkey was a great ad. Santos is managing out his mind. If you're Santos, you got a dub probably against Ben this week. Are you playing around with the roster a little bit, try to secure some more firepower? The arms race continues? Question mark.
It's because the only thing he could really try and upgrade is the running back room.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think the one trade I do potentially try and make is I go back to Mark again, and I try and like flip Monty for like Brees as like a pure upside play. But I know Santos like likes his floor plays, and so in that sense, like the cost it would take to acquire Brees, are you really upgrading your floor that much more with Brees? I don't know. And also, he's already paid a lot with a second. Like this team is nasty. Like this team is so good. This is the only wide receiver room outside of mine I would consider like full on replacing. Like with 3 like super solid like great receivers. God, this team is disgusting.
Who's the third receiver? Oh, McConkey? Yeah.
McConkey.
No, yeah.
I love McConkey.
It's good. And his schedule coming up is pretty soft. He plays Kester and Guy, but otherwise he probably wins another 4. And this is like that range, right? If he wins another 4, loses 2, 8 and 6 probably is enough to get you there. And at that point, I love it going in. I agree with you. I think a slight bump in the running back room maybe. I know we made kind of a lateral move from Etienne to Dobbins just to get a playable last week.
Mm-hmm.
And there, I'm not worried. I think the only way Dobbins loses his grip on that job is if he gets hurt. I don't think that RJ Harvey will beat him out, even though Harvey has looked great. But that is a concern because JK I don't think has ever played a full season.
Yes, that he's always missed at least a few games.
Right. So hopefully, if that happens, it happens now, not in playoffs. But yeah, I love it, and yeah, a little upgrade on the running back room. And I think there might be some players to be had if some of these teams that we've talked about maybe holding decide to go the summer.
Yeah.
And then your weekly number one team, it's Kessner.
Yeah.
By golly, he lost and he's still at number one. He doesn't have really an running back too. Who cares? The team is so good. McBride has really helped the team. Obviously, he gets Lamar back. He's been doing this all without Lamar.
Yeah.
Like
it's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's missed 4 games, kind of 4.5 because the KC game he went out at halftime. Adams a clear upgrade. Yeah, McBride, Pickens, I think maybe slows down a little bit, but he's still gonna be good.
I think his receivers are gonna be fine. I am curious. I wouldn't say worried, but like Devontae's Puka's back.
Mm-hmm.
Like respectfully, Devontae's not gonna post a 35-yard game with 3 touchdowns.
Right,
every week.
And we talked about that when he made the Rico deal, which I love the deal. Mm-hmm. Like I think it was absolutely a steal. But it's not like you were getting a locked and loaded wide receiver one rest of the year. Which a lot of people, I think there was some rumblings like, oh my god, it's like this is he's gonna be crushed this 1 week. Puka's gonna be back. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's a good trade.
Yeah, and I like Ken Walker's in. Obviously, Ken Walker is in the ugliest timeshare ever, and I know because I have Charbonnet. Like this is so ugly, and the Mason's taking a big hit. So his RB room obviously is like his RB room is kind of similar to mine. Like,
yes,
there's my he took after his RB room type is the same as mine. I would just downgrade it slightly.
Yeah,
because
if you're in that genre, yours is an A+ and his is an A.
Yeah.
of the hero RB1, I don't know what I'm doing at RB2.
Yeah.
That genre. Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much it. So, I like the team. Like, obviously, like, I put him number one because record and points for. But I am curious to see over these next few weeks, like, if this team will continue scoring at this pace or if he'll start losing steam, because I do see some regression coming for his receivers. And if that translates to losses, like, who knows? But he's also getting the upgrade with Lamar. So it's just like we are nitpicking the like tiniest little things with this team, but it's just like we'll see. But Lamar's back, which is, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's got an advantage at the onesies, and I think if I'm Kessner, I'm sniffing around, right? Like I'm gonna try to make. If I was Kessner, I'm trying to make a push for that guy. Like I'm looking. Unlike some teams we've talked about, if the deal is right, if situationally it makes sense, small. If I'm Kessner, I'm like, I'm gonna put this team over the top. I'm gonna lock and load, go get a top 5 guy somewhere. I don't care what it costs. Again, I go crazy on trading, but that's what I would do. Like let's solidify. Let's see if I can sew this up in week 9 of freaking the season.
Yeah.
He's got his matchups next are so stupid. He plays Justin this week. Dub. He plays Santos without CeeDee Lamb. He's down Pickens, but I think the CeeDee Lamb hurts him more. So dub. He plays Jacob. Missing nobody. Probably a win, but we'll see. He plays JT, and JT is missing half his whole team on bye. Nix, Achane, Krosky, Merritt, Waddle. They're all on bye. So dub. And he plays...
You.
Who's the last one? Me. That'll be a tough one. and then he smashes Ben out of next season. So, like, he really only has 2 hardish matchups left. He's gonna lock up the number 1 seed here. And again, I think I'm angling, I'm pivoting. I'm even okay with maybe moving some of my guys as part of those deals. Like, maybe not me, just Kestner won't work with me. But if you went to someone with the top 5 guys and said, "Hey, I've got Adams, I've got Pickens. Let me upgrade and keep you competitive." Maybe I go to a Ben and say, "Let me give me a little JJ or something." Not that I think JJ is top 5, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm getting flexible. I'm getting creative with my trades to try to make these moves happen.
Yeah.
And he's only got 4 days to do it, but that's what I would be doing.
Yeah. No, I think I'm trying to scope out. It is tough because he's already spent a second. And just based on, I don't think we've seen Kestner like full on just deplete the war chest before, so I don't know if it's something he's wanting or like comfortable doing. Because we know Kestner's MO of just killing the draft every year.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and he always his board, except the time he's sold, he usually likes playing his board like decently straight up. So I just don't know his thought process behind that. And I know because I'm kind of similar that way, and especially when you are like the clear cut number 1 team, and
yeah, he's gonna be your number 1 seed,
and you're getting your star QB back. Like, I could see him totally be like, I'm getting Lamar back. I'm good.
Sure.
So,
I just think I agree with you. We might see a tail off of the boom boom, and the opportunity to make a difference or make a change ends on Monday.
yes.
So, and that's why, I mean, guys, just being honest with you, that's why it ends Monday. These decisions have to be made.
Yep.
We can't live in purgatory in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So there you go. 12 through 1, Justin, Mark, Ben, JT, Sam, Ken, me, Jacob, you, Guy, Santos, Kestner. And yeah, thank you. I think this has been super insightful. I've had a great time.
This has been fun.
Yeah. Very, very fun. Anything else you want to toss on here before we head out?
No. Good luck to everyone else except for JT. So.
Yeah. Good luck to everyone else except for Jacob. Jacob, don't make any moves. Your team is perfect. Don't change a thing. All right. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.